Alright guys, today I'm bringing you my first Transformers action figure review. This is the first one I purchased. I've never owned a Transformer before unless you count the ones I bought when I was like 5. So it's been interesting kind of discovering what these guys are about and the appeal. And honestly I gotta say I'm pretty hooked on him. I really like this guy. I think he was a great introduction into the Transformers brand, and I'm really excited to take a look and talk about him. So before we do that, why don't we take a look at everything he comes with. So first off, he comes with 2 of these guns, which are just a flat gray, and they look a lot like the cartoon if you go look at the original cartoon. So I mean, they're pretty accurate, so can't really complain about a lack of paint. Otherwise, the most important thing about these is that they have this little peg here that sticks into little peg holes that are really all throughout his body here. And primarily he's pictured with it in his hand, but it doesn't really fit in his hand because of that wrist here. It kind of wants to fall out. It's just barely in there. Really, I like to just put it in this peg hole down here below his forearm, and it sticks in there pretty nicely. Or up on his shoulders too. Works just fine. And aside from those, he doesn't really come with anything else except for the instruction booklet, which is very handy. I do not have the packaging. I would have usually gone through the packaging by now, but I no longer have it on me, sadly. And I will say, for example, this Megatron here, which I currently have a giveaway going on my Instagram. Go check that out. It ends Friday on the 3rd, I believe. I believe that would be July 3rd. You can see this Megatron packaging here, and the one thing about these packages that really amazes me is how, I have to move my camera out here. You'll see my whole setup. You can see how freaking spot on that art is, man. I'm not sure who the artist is, but damn, he does a fantastic job, he or she. Just really great art altogether. Fantastic. You can see Optimus there too. So I know the Starscream packaging is pretty nice. I really like it. So let's take a look at this. So as I said before, this guy really resembles his cartoon counterpart, which is really probably one of the most important things for a lot of Transformers collectors that really value that kind of G1 look, I guess. He really resembles the cartoon version of Starscream, which is the classic look, man. It's what everyone pictures when you hear Starscream. So that was pretty cool to see. I like this guy. You can see the detail, obviously, all throughout this dude is pretty freaking phenomenal. All the different lines and everything. Nice, really exuberant kind of paint work. I really like that paint scheme in general. I also like how this piece here on the windshield of the cockpit is very nice and translucent, a very nice orange color. And another thing that's really important is this face here. I really like that dark gray, man. I really, really like that. I'll zoom in here, and you can see it, and I can brighten this up. In this lighting, it's pretty dark, but I'll give you a better look. So here we have my camera zoomed in, 55mm look, and you can see here that red eyes, the dark gray kind of metallic silver on his face, and that black helmet on his head, black helmet kind of shape, is just really nice looking. There's a very nice look at it. It is, like I said, very reminiscent of his classic look. So without further ado, we can take a look at the articulation and then transform this guy. Alright, so taking a look at Starscream's articulation, this guy is actually very articulated. And, you know, with this being my first Transformer, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I guess I figured they probably weren't going to have things like ankle pivot and such, but then there is that other end of things where it's like, okay, well, maybe they could, considering so many moving parts on this, plastic action figure. And I'll say this, the articulation is actually pretty impressive for so many different components and so many things going on with this guy. The implementation of articulation on him is phenomenal, really. They did a really good job. So let's take a look at some of the articulation that really resembles other posable action figures. So the head articulation is, I think it might just be in a little ball joint. I don't really want to pop this off, but you can go back pretty far, forward. It does have a little bit of a neck pivot, so you can get him in some cool poses there, and obviously go side to side. You can kind of look down side to side, so that's pretty cool. The arms do go out quite a bit, or well, I guess straight up. But if you do use this rotation, they can go up this way as well. And you can see there is a hinge here at the shoulder. Yeah, you can see little nails or screws they put in there. Little nails. You can see the hinge there. There is a swivel here. There is a hinge at the elbow. No rotation at the wrist, and there's a little hinge here at this wrist, which I'll show you why later on, I guess. There is really no waist articulation or anything in here because obviously this is really nicely sculpted and stuff. But you can fold that up a little bit, and the legs can go forward, back. They can go very far out, as you can see. There is a rotation here at the very top by that little ball joint type thing. There is a knee joint, which is pretty solid, but this has a tendency to kind of want to pop out, and it kind of messes things up, and the leg goes far up, so that's kind of annoying. But you do have that knee articulation. And then one of my favorite things about this guy is he has a pretty nice pivot here at the ankles, so you can have him look kind of organic when he's moving in a way, and that's the robotic. So that's really cool. Very nice articulation on this guy. You can fold these wings back if you want to. I kind of like having them out a little bit, though. I think it looks cooler personally, in my opinion. But everything aside, this is a cool figure and some great articulation. So I guess we should now look at his transformation. I'm going to go step by step for you guys. Okay, so first things first, you want to pop these guns off, and then we're going to get these arms shorter. So you're going to want to pop that open right here, kind of tuck this in if you can. I believe you're going to want to point this kind of upward if you can. So you can see you're going to want it to kind of, let me do that again so you can see that. Basically want it straight forward and kind of tucking into this part here. You can pop that up, slide that down, and then you put the wrist up. So basically you're making the arms way shorter, so we can do that with the other one here, and I'll show you again just in case you didn't get it. You're just going to want to push that forward, slide that into a little pocket, this piece here, so you can see, and then you can close it and put these hands forward. So now that you have the hands a lot shorter, the arms, you're just going to want to take this piece, the end of the plane, and snap it in like that. Pretty straightforward. You can see the head is hidden in there pretty nice. And then for this next part, you're going to want to, basically you can see this is kind of connected here. What I do is you got to really like take this chest piece off, and so I kind of lift these out, these two little pieces here, and push it like that. It's a little difficult, to be honest. And I get worried because that's going to break or something. But then you have his body kind of laid out like this. And according to directions, it says you want to lift this straight up. It's been a minute since I've done this. Rotate it and tuck it back into here. So there you go. There's that. And then you want to take these arms and hide them on the inside. And after that, you can just close it like so, and you'll hear that snap. Okay, so we're on step 16 now, and what you want to do is focus the camera so I can actually show you what the hell is going on. But what you want to do is lift this flap up. It says, like I said, I'm going step by step here. I'm not a pro. I'm just following the directions. Put these kind of out. I guess you could always, here, point them forward. You want to point them forward. Like that. And show some kind of snapping sound. Basically what you want to do is take these feet, point them down if I remember right. You're going to want to pop these open. You're going to want to shorten these legs in short. So you shove that in there, and then you kind of shut it like that. And it should fit in there pretty nice. You can see there's a little slit right there, like a peg hole type thing. You can kind of clip it in there. Okay. Do the same thing with this leg. Really, you can just kind of clip that in beforehand, I guess, if you want. That's what I'm doing anyways. Okay. So you got these legs closed. And then I believe once the legs are closed, let me look at these directions here, my friends. Once you have the legs all closed, you kind of flip it. You can put these wings down, like so. Snap them onto the sides there. Ooh, that just popped right off. Which is kind of helpful, I guess. Could be. And then you basically just kind of, flip these up. I think. Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Okay, so I did that wrong. Yeah, maybe put these in first and then put these on. Otherwise it gets kind of messed up. Okay. There we go. Then you close that. And I believe that's really all there is to it. The last thing you want to do after all this is said and done is put these little guns on the bottom here. Or really, you can put them in any one of these peg holes if you want. I mean, there's all kinds of options. Like I said, you could put it right here as well. That looks pretty cool too. Or heck, you could put it right on the top, which I think looks kind of weird, but you know, it's your toy, man. Do what you want with it. So, there he is, all put together. So, taking a look at this guy's color scheme, like I said, I really love how much these colors just pop against the gray. I love the purple Decepticon symbol. I like all these little details that throughout. Overall, that transformation was honestly super smooth. It was very, very easy to do, honestly. I like this guy a lot. For my first Transformer, he really showed me that why people collect these things. They're a hell of a lot of fun. They're greatly articulated. They have some cool details, and it's just overall a cool show and a great concept. So I mean, like I said, again, this is a pretty cool figure. I like this little cockpit. You can even see the seat in there, man, and where his little, meters and whatever would go. So overall, pretty cool. I like the paint scheme. I like the sculpting. Very nicely done. And then here we have Starscream next to the Siege Voyager class Megatron and the Earthrise Leader class Optimus Prime. And honestly, I think he scales pretty accurately in my opinion. Both these guys are a bit beefier than he is, so I think that's pretty correct. And then lastly, here he is next to Shockwave. So with all that said and everything we've looked at here, I guess would I recommend Starscream? Yeah, easily. I think he's a very, very cool figure to pose. I mean, just in general, not considering he's a Transformer, comparing him to other figures, I think he's pretty cool, man. For what he is, he's a fun action figure. He has some great sculpting. He has some awesome paint. Cool character. Pretty funny if you look at some YouTube videos of him getting killed and his little conflicts with Megatron. He's a cool character, classic Transformer. I love this look for him. It's very G1. It's very classic looking. The transformation is super smooth, man. He comes with some cool blasters here, and altogether he's a fun figure to have. And I mean, if you're new to collecting Transformers and you're debating it, this was my first one. I own, 7 now? 8? And out of all of them, I still think he's one of my favorites. Just because of his, like I said, that classic look. And I mean, altogether, he's just a great introduction to the Transformers line, at least for me. I thought this was a really great way to start. Because it definitely accurately depicted how great these Transformers are. This is a cool figure. So, at the end of the day, yeah, for what? It was $20. $20, it's a steal, man. He's a cool figure. And it's a lot of fun, to post him. Hours of fun, man. Transforming him, untransforming him. Cool way to spend your time. It's pretty cool. So I hope this tutorial, on how to put him together kind of helped you. I hope this definitely helped kind of sway you to buy him because he's a fun figure to have. He's a cool piece for adult collectors. All caps, adult, man. So, cool figure. I hope you guys tune in for the next review. Please keep watching. Please subscribe. Please like my videos. If you haven't yet, go to Instagram and check out the contest or the little giveaway I put up. I'm giving away 2 action figures, Mandalorian and Megatron. Yeah, Megatron. Mandalorian, Megatron. So I'll be picking the winner this Friday, July 3rd. You guys will know who gets the Mandalorian and the War for Cybertron Siege Voyager class Megatron action figures. So with that said, I hope you guys definitely go check that out on my Instagram. I'll give you my username down below, TheWiseCollector. And keep watching these reviews, man. Stay tuned for more, because there's more coming. I'll be doing more Transformers. Got Optimus, Megatron, all kinds of things we could take a look at. And I do have the SH Figure Arts Mandalorian coming in the mail, which I'm not too sure about. I definitely think it looks like a fun figure, though, but I have watched some other reviews, and they're kind of mixed on him. So we'll see how he is when I get him. I'm excited, though, and I will be posting a review of that very soon. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching, again, for the 100th time, and keep collecting. Peace.